No countdown. I hit the wrong button. So there we go. Welcome to Omnibros Live. On a Wednesday, we have the best of media 2023 games, movies, TV, and Jake and I have vinyl that we are going to talk about. I only have one piece of vinyl, although I can go grab a bunch, but when we get there, we'll get there.
Cool.
So we have Jake as a guest from Brave and the Boys, and Lou, of course, Comics Guide. Always good to see you.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hello. And we'll talk about our wonderful sponsor. That would be InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions from 30% off all the way up to 60% off in the red tag sale. I know in the red tag sale, there's a bunch of good books right now for 60% off. Go look after the show. Go look. Really. Tack on 2% for your loyalty discount. At the end of every month on a Monday, except it was 2 days ago Monday, we give away a free $50 gift card to a lucky viewer out there, courtesy of IST. $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping from IST. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, Lordy Lord. Happy, what is it? Wednesday? I don't even know anymore.
It looks fine, kid. You look fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're good.
cool.
You're good, man. It looks good.
Let's see. How does this look? That looks fine. That looks fine.
That looks good.
Jake, I told Jake that there were plenty of things in this that totally make fun of me. What's this one? I don't even remember the context on that one.
That would be a fun game to play the GIFs, and then we have to guess what the context was.
I totally don't remember what I said. Man, I was angry at that one.
There was years of content in that GIF bar of Jess alone. James Abel, God bless him. He is a diehard. I think a lot of these are his.
Yeah, James says I would win that game. Yeah, James, what was the one? Can you explain? No Peace and Love. What was I so upset with? No peace and love on that one. Javier's here.
Oh Lord.
Cycle's insane. Kane, good to see you. Wait, okay, Jake's video quality is really bad. Is that what you were referring to, Jake?
Yeah. That's why he was gaslighting me.
Kane's cool. I think she was just maybe you fixed it. Bob Fisher's here. What up, Bob? Larry. What up, Larry? Merry Christmas, James, from Bob Fisher. James. Okay, here's a good question. I didn't even know this existed. What's up with the Neil Adams YouTube channel? They're putting up new videos, selling his art and stuff. I guess these ladies are his relatives. They don't seem to introduce themselves. I don't know. Seems off.
A mystery.
If only Gio were here, he could go to that channel right now and find out what was going on. That's odd.
Is it something that's up with the estate?
I guess. I don't know. I was unaware of it. Labrewski's here. Aria, good to see you. Who have I missed?
It could be family. There might just be getting rid of things from the estate. I mean, I don't know. That is odd.
NFL Dude's here. Max, who's recommended all the good movies I've seen, Max from the Netherlands, swears that Wonka is a fantastic movie and it made him cry twice.
I'd believe it because the director of Wonka directed Paddington 2, and as we've discussed multiple times on this show, Jess, Paddington 2 is perfect.
I feel like the weird thing about Wonka is it's part of that new trend of hiding the fact that a movie's a musical, you know? Like with Mean Girl, you wouldn't know the new Mean Girl, you wouldn't know it's a musical. Wonka, you wouldn't know it's a musical. Like, so like it's almost like they're trying to sneak you into a musical now.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know it was a musical until about a week ago when I was listening to a review about it, and they flat out said that's what it is. There is no indication that that's what that is. I can see a lot of people walking into it going, "This is a musical." I love musicals, so
Yeah, me too.
I don't have a problem with it. I still want to see it. I think it looks fun.
I actually want to see it more now that I know it's a musical.
NFL Dude joins Zia and Chris Adams sharing legendary comic artist Neil Adams' original art, prints, Giclées, books, and CGCs. Also includes Neil's life stories and his Growing Earth videos from neiladams.com.
That's cool.
Description from the Neil Adams channel.
Are they going to charge you to watch it?
His wacky Growing Earth ideas are his old videos. He barely posted that channel for years. Good evening, y'all. Well,
good evening.
I
Good
know
evening.
that I know that seeing him at cons, he had a ton of stuff. And if he passed away, the estate, his family is stuck. Well, not stuck, but they've got a huge amount of his stuff to sell. What else are they going to do with it? So it sounds like that's how they're going about it. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's probably smart.
Why do I feel like Jess is going to open up another tab to that live stream and he's going to just be silently bidding on things all night?
Okay, wait a sec. What is it? neiladams.com? I can. Let's see if I have the technology. It's okay. Wait, it's YouTube. Where's you? This page is so weird. YouTube.
Control F.
I don't have an F key. Neil Adams. I'll just go Neil Adams. Neil Adams Artist Editions. Neil Adams Superstars. Wait.
I feel like your angry Neil Adams review video of the Omnibus is going to pop up.
It did. Wait, I'll share this. Oh my God.
You were very disappointed in that book.
Well, I was, and now I feel bad. Here it is.
On his deathbed, imagine that. He's like, Google my name one last time. And that's the video that pops up.
See, it's like why I dislike Neil Adams isn't that bad, but then with a fiery passion, like.
Well, I knew I shouldn't. Okay, I see. Thank you guys. I see NFL Dude and Larry are showing me the YouTube link. neiladams.com. Okay, I'll figure it out. But I knew I didn't want to use the word hate, so I just said why I dislike Neil Adams, but I had to throw in fiery passion.
Holy crap, that's amazing. It's right under his name. Oh my God.
If you Google it, it shows up too.
I bet he's had to have seen it.
Yeah. Why do I want to screenshot Jess's review and the profile of Neil Adams and make a t-shirt out of it?
There's Gabe. What up, Gabe?
Hey, Gabe.
Yo, what up?
We just found out that Neil Adams' YouTube page, right underneath it is why I dislike Neil Adams' Batman Omnibus with a fiery passion.
Oh, he's probably watching it in hell inside the Hollow Earth.
Okay, wait. YouTube Neil. I don't think. Can I? I don't think I can. Can I? No. YouTube at neiladams.com. What? What is that?
Can you click on the profile right above the video that you posted?
Let's see. neiladams.com. Maybe that's it. Joe. Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Quiet. Okay.
Again, we're watching Jess figure out the internet.
You guys are there.
We've done this many a time.
Cycle is there, and Larry's library is there. You guys are watching both. Okay, just a sec. Sale auction. I turned off the volume. So I would guess that maybe is his wife.
Probably.
But yeah, there's Larry and Cycle Cleveland.
Can we join their chat?
Hi, Omni Dog. They have no clue.
You're not subscribed to Neil Adams?
I'm surprised.
I'm
Big
not.
fan. Yeah, you're not subscribed. At least smash the like button. Wait. Here's the real question. Do we have more people watching this than are watching that?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, there's 10 watching Neil Adams and 24 watching us.
So
Yeah.
But they just started, it looks like. So, no, they've been on for 41 minutes. Never mind.
Yeah.
You might be winding down.
That's brutal.
Wish them the best. Good luck with that.
Just
Whatever.
smash that like button before you go.
No, they got 4. They got enough.
Like. Cycle said hi, Omni Dog. NFL dudes there. Well, I hope you guys make it a successful video.
Yeah, I hope
I mean,
for
a
whatever
successful
reason.
sale. I got 0 against Neil Adams. I was just unhappy with that recoloring and re-inking. I worshipped that guy for so long. I wish his family nothing but the best. I hope they do really well. There's no reason-
I'm being serious. At some point, he has seen your video.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I doubt that guy even looks at YouTube or any videos online. Come on, he's old school.
I don't know.
I don't know how good the internet reception is, in the afterlife, but
Or in the Hollow Earth.
Maybe that is his hell. Is he just has to keep rewatching that video on repeat?
Oh God.
Well, I think I do start that. I haven't watched that video ever. So
Yeah.
I think I do start that video saying what a great artist he is. And that is the issue, that you didn't get a chance to see the original art and get to compare it as to what came before it and why it was so groundbreaking, his original art. That was the real issue.
He's the George Lucas of comics.
well, not a superstar anymore, Lou?
No, that's Mark Millar. No, he's definitely kind of the George Lucas of comics, because a lot of the stuff that he's put out in the last few years has he redid the coloring before he passed. And
inking.
Did he take out the guns and put in walkie-talkies?
Oof, might as well. It was pretty rough. Some of that recoloring, it's kind of the same thing that they did with the Alan Moore Swamp Thing stuff. It just wasn't good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that
was Neil Adams oversaw the recoloring, right? Was he involved? Because Alan Moore had nothing to do with Swamp Thing.
He did the re-inking.
I love the word choice that Jess used. It taught me the word garish. In his...
That recoloring was
garish.
For Swamp Thing. That recoloring, it took out all the sense of it. It really removed kind of that grim, grimy like atmosphere.
Like
like
a horror film kind of thing.
All the like atmospheric stuff that came with it, because it was basically printed on toilet paper.
Yeah,
took that all away and put modern coloring on it, which doesn't work and not what the artwork was intended to hold for.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, diarrhea on the page.
Okay, so we talked about in stock trades.
Mm-hmm.
I just got an order from them, so I'll save it for Monday. Oh, Monday's Christmas, so I'll save it for Tuesday.
I placed a big order on IST yesterday. I said I wasn't going to buy any more books the rest of this year, but IST, man, their deals are too good.
You know what, Jake? You are kind of blurry.
Maybe he's in Hollow Earth with Neil Adams.
I've done videos with you before, so I know that you can look good.
Should I leave and come back in? I have high quality equipment. It looks good on my end.
Why don't you leave and come back in, and let's see if that works. Okay, now we can talk about him behind his back. Phenomena.
I bet he still gets child tickets at the movie theater.
Okay, so it's games, movies, TV, and then Jake and I have vinyl that we will share. Unless you guys have vinyl, or you can talk about your favorite song or something like that. Best of Media 2023.
Yes, sir. This is one of my favorite categories. We do this every year. We do it the week before we do the Omnis to close out the year, and it's just general talking points. You want me? Look, we'll start. How about this? Let's start with TV. What's some of the best stuff that you guys saw this year, TV wise? I know Jess and I. The one that pops probably into our head right off the bat was Fall of the House of Usher. Mike Flanagan closing out his Netflix deal with them. I think he's moving on to Amazon next, question mark, if I'm not mistaken. But he's done with Netflix and he closed it out, and man, I think it's the best one. And that's over Haunting of Hill House, which I loved. I think House of Usher is better.
Yeah, you look better, Jake.
You look great, man.
You were saying that you like the House of Usher show?
I loved it. Yeah, I think it's the best series.
We supplied the speakers for that TV show. So Netflix was like, hey, we need a bunch of high-end audio equipment because like I guess it's like about a bunch of like rich family or something. So we sent them a lot of like expensive audio equipment and they sent it back in such horrible condition. They like didn't respect the speakers at all.
That sounds about right.
You probably threw a rave with it afterwards or something.
You know, you joke, but there was an episode where
the second episode.
That second episode, I think that's probably where your damage came from, because it was. I text Jess right away and I said, "Acid."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That doesn't surprise me that they sent him back janky. That totally tracks. For anything Hollywood. When my brother and his wife lived in Washington, they had a fabulous penthouse overlooking the monuments. It was gorgeous. They connected two condos together, and a famous movie producer asked if they could film a movie in there. Not the whole thing, but use that for some interior shots. And my brother had a friend in the movie industry that said, do not let them in your house no matter what. They will trash your house and leave it and not even leave a check. They are gone and it gets trashed. So I believe that those speakers came back covered in acid.
Yeah, it was not pretty. It was like a ridiculous amount of money's worth of speakers that we sent them because it's like publicity for us. So why not, you know?
Yeah.
Right. So do they front the cost after that? Like if you send, do you send them the bill or you just eat it after?
I think that they've done this before. I think this was just kind of like the last straw, but I don't think Netflix would write us a check if we asked for one. You know what I mean? Because like the way that they do it is it's like, hey, like because we distribute the brands in America, so it's a good way to get recognition to the brands to have like that brand in the background of some millionaire's house. But yeah, we just paid a price for them being irresponsible.
Since I got my turntable and speakers from Jake, let's give a plug to Upscale Audio, where Jake works.
Ooh,
hey.
Great stuff. Jake has helped me so much with my equipment and the placement of the speakers and getting rid of some technical problems. It's awesome. So, and he got me great deals on it. Super great deals. So peace and love to Jake. Peace.
That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
The story Jake was telling me reminds me of like the emails we get where it's like, hey, how about we promote your show and you do all this for us and you will get exposure kind of crap.
Oh yeah,
right?
the honor of
in
exposure.
Omnibros?
Yeah, we get those emails all the time.
Yeah, so do I. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to plug your shitty jewelry or whatever you want.
I still get those emails from my old YouTube channel, and I'm like, I haven't posted a video on that thing in about 2 years. Sure, if you want to send me money, go ahead.
I love the story.
Yeah.
Or even how Sony stole your video, Lou, and never paid you for it, and used it on that Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were in that guy's video.
What? No, that was Disney.
Was it Disney? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Disney. Yeah, so I'm actually, for like 3 seconds, it's a blink and you miss it cameo. I'm in a Disney documentary on Disney Plus, and they had reached out to me, hey, we would like you to be in the documentary. This was about probably a year or two before the documentary even aired. And I said, yeah, sure, just credit me, pay me X amount of money, which wasn't even a lot. I was like, give me $200, whatever. And they had agreed to it. I never got the money, so I brushed the whole thing off. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not fine. I thought it was just a bunch of BS. And I forgot who it was. Messaged Omar and said, Lewis is in a documentary. I'm like, what?
What documentary was it?
Oh, I don't even remember. I don't remember the timestamp, but I know it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I remember watching it, and you were I think you were complimenting something, right?
I forgot what it even was, honestly.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a recent video at the time.
No, it's like Lou at like 15 years old.
Yeah, I was still living at my parents' house, so I was probably 20 at the time, and I'm 34 now, so it was a long time ago.
Oh wow! It wasn't even a Disney Plus. I was just Disney.
No, it was Disney Plus. The documentary is on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I had forgotten all about that. Well, I agree with you on The Fall of the House of Usher. I also watched Midnight Mass, even though that wasn't from this year.
Mm-hmm.
The ending utterly made me sob.
It's so good.
It was. I was so moved by the ending of Midnight Mass. I just didn't expect that. But since Fall of the House of Usher came out this year and I binged it, I will say that's my TV show of the year, with an honorable mention for Bodies, also on Netflix, which I've talked about before. Cy Spencer comic. Cy Spencer sadly passed away, I think, from COVID reasons. I don't know. I think he passed away in 2021. So he never got to see it, but it's an adaptation of his comic, and it is really, really good. Four different bodies appear. Four of the same bodies appear with a gunshot wound to the head in 1890, 1941 or so, 2023, and 2053. It appears at the same time, and it's how the detectives go about their work trying to solve this mystery and how they all connect at some point. And then it gets into exactly what happened and what this time loop has been created. And I found it compelling. It's 8 episodes on Netflix. I found it very compelling.
Awesome sauce. So I loved House of Usher, but my favorite show of the year, and this is going to come out of nowhere for a lot of people, but bear in mind I have a 1-year-old. It's actually Bluey.
Bluey.
Nice.
No bullshit. It's the best show on television right now. I'm not even kidding.
I watched a lot of Bluey this year also. It's like there's like articles like the 10 episodes of Bluey that make you cry if you're an adult, and like we'll just put them on, me and my wife. We don't even have kids.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, 100%. It really is that good of a show. It's a show that it's for kids, but it strikes such a great balance, and it deals with adult themes because it doesn't talk down to kids. Mm-hmm. It's a show that goes, hey, kids can handle pretty serious subject matter if it's presented to them in a way. The episode involving the episode called Onesies is brilliant, and it handles infertility. Amazing. This is a kid's show. The episode
one about her aunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
those are always the best kid shows.
It's so subtle, like you don't even realize what they're talking about. But it's crazy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And there's an episode called Sleepy Time. Amazing.
Yes, that's the best one where she's dreaming, where she's like wants to live the night in her bed.
Yes. Oh, dude.
The one with the budgie, where the budgie dies, that one's good too, where it deals with death.
Yeah.
Oh, Copycat. It's called Copycat.
Yeah.
Oh, you spoiled it for me. Thanks.
No, Jess, seriously. The episodes are short. They're like 5 to 10 minutes each. They're not long. You could go on tonight, and I could give you a list of some of them that you'll watch, and I guarantee you'll be like, this is amazing. It's really that good of a show.
Sounds good to me.
Those are always the best like kid shows, right? Or the ones where the parents can relate to it, right? Because if it's just there about like learning numbers and learning colors, or learning how to be friends, or learning how to go to the bathroom. But you got stuff like where it's like, here's about death, here's about infertility, things that the kids might not totally get, but maybe down the road, there's like a little kind of earwig that kind of gets stuck into it, and they realize it later on. But if the parents, because the parents are, the masters of the TV. Not really. But if you can relate to the parents, then it's something that draws in the family all together, which is really cool. I'll check it out. My kids have the toys. They pick the toys out, but I don't think they've really seen much of the episodes, if any.
My favorite movie episode is the porch swing episode.
Porch swing is good. If you guys want, I can give you a list after this is done of the episodes that you need to watch. You know, there's really no continuity or anything like that, but it's worth your time. Honestly, genuinely, it's worth your time. I started it because my 12-year-old, she had heard from it from somebody in school, and she started watching it. And we have a 1-year-old now, and she put it on for her. And I'm sitting on the couch going, okay, what is this? This is a kid's show. Fine, I'll sit and I'll sit through it. I'm crying almost at the end of an episode going, what the hell is this show? Oh, it's so good.
Let me see if I can catch up on some of the comments. It's different than the comic. It expands on the comic and fleshes it out, and it's not better, but I would say it's the comic potential realized. So that's my answer to that. Do a Flanagan episode and rank his projects. That sounds good to me because I need to watch all of his stuff, and I haven't gotten there yet. Lou and Gabe, do y'all have personal YouTube channels?
I used to, not anymore. I don't do anything with it.
Yeah, I don't have an active one or anything like that. No.
The Bluey theme is great.
Yes, it is. It's very good. And the extended version is even better.
We're talking about Bluey right now, Kane, on Disney Plus.
Welcome to Omnibros Live, where we talk about little kid shows and how it makes us cry.
Kenny's here. Good to see you. Here's something from Next Imagine Out the Comics Guide. Have you looked into Max's new animated science fiction series, Scavenger's Reign, yet? I've heard that it's excellent, but haven't investigated it.
Nope. I haven't watched anything like that.
And real quick with this, NFL dude, send us the link to your Indiegogo, dude. We'll throw it up.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Is that your comic, NFL dude?
Yeah, we'll do it.
It sounds like it. Can you promote the comic? I got 30% funding for on Indiegogo. NFL dude's been around forever. The show's always supported us.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely return that favor.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, sure.
Kid Omni Dog, what's some stuff you saw this year, man?
For TV shows?
For TV shows.
Ted Lasso, the final season was really good.
Oh, man.
Recently, Loki season 2. I didn't like it as first of the first season, but by the ending, the way everything goes full circle was phenomenal. And then lastly, probably The Bear season 2 had some of the best episodes of television I've seen.
Oh,
if you guys,
Loki was the last 2 episodes really kind of things finally happened. The last couple episodes,
yeah. And then lastly,
The Bear's great. Yeah. I love The Bear too. That's a good choice. I forgot about that book.
Like there's a flashback episode in season 2 where it's like a Christmas dinner, and it's like, how did they get that cast, like that movie star cast of actors in a TV show for just like the most anxiety ridden episode of TV I've ever seen?
Oh, the most just really mental breakdown of the family. Yeah.
Did you saw season 2, right, Gabe? You finished it?
Of The Bear?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love season 1, especially the episode involving the tickets. Because if you've ever worked
I've been there,
in a restaurant, that ticket machine is like Vietnam flashbacks when you keep hearing the tickets keep coming out, especially if you've ever worked a holiday. Oh my God. Yeah, the season 2 is even better, I think, than season 1. They break up the cast a lot, and they really flesh out a lot of different characters and stuff like that. You get more of the backstory about what happened with the brother. That Thanksgiving dinner episode, I was tense the whole episode watching it going, oh my God, can we end this episode already? I need to get out of here.
I've been to dinners like that. Not my own family, but I've been to like girlfriends at the time where they had like jacked up families and they'd get into fights during Thanksgiving. I'm just sitting there like just eating away, Or they try and involve you, and they're like, "What do you think about this?" I go, "Dude,
too busy eating. Can't say anything."
I got no dog in this fight.
I feel like that's the juxtaposition of like Bluey, the most unanxiety-ridden show ever, like the most peaceful show I watch when I'm feeling anxious, and then The Bear, which is what gave me my anxiety, was watching The Bear season 2.
Oh my God!
I like season 1 a little bit better, but season 2 is good because you get like a lot of character development with the characters, like his is it his brother or his cousin? The other guy that runs the restaurant with him, where he's learning.
It's like a family friend that he calls cousin.
Right. Yeah. So even that episode where he's learning how to work.
Yes, at
like
a fine dining restaurant,
like hotel or restaurant, and he just is just breaking, and then there's one of those things where he gives himself like 10 minutes to freak or 10 seconds to freak out, and he snaps into place and starts running into place. So stuff like that. But I'm waiting to see what happens on the next season, to see when the restaurant really starts and everything with them.
Yeah, they do a good. I really love what they do with the cousin that season, simply because the cousin, he's kind of always been the fuck up in the first season and the kind of first half of the second season, and then if it finally happens where he finally takes accountability for his actions, he's like, I got a kid, I really got to get my shit together, I got to figure this out. And he meets people working at this restaurant. He goes, oh, I can actually be really good at this kind of managing stuff. Let me really sink myself completely into it. And you slowly start to see his transition into a much more mature character throughout the end of the season, where there's a great scene where he does a job interview for somebody, and he finishes the interview, and then I think it's Thatch or something like that. He goes, what do you think of the guy? He said, I'm not going to hire him. Why? Well, because he didn't notice that the fork was tilted the wrong way on the table. I would have caught that. So we're not going to hire him. And I was like, wow, that was a great little detail and a great moment.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, this person's worked at 6 4-star restaurants. There's a problem with them. They can't stay in one place. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
it. Was great to watch him finally have his place, because he's really like, the whole point is that he doesn't have his place in this new direction of the new restaurant. Like, he fit into the old style of the restaurant, but not the new one. Yeah. And to finally see him thrive is just so rewarding as a viewer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. I love the fact that they have the busiest night that they've had, and then one of the guys is out in the back smoking crack.
Yeah.
That's a restaurant.
In the back of the restaurant.
That's a restaurant, dude.
That's a restaurant.
Those chefs are all like sniffing their keys for a reason.
We've all probably had that experience if you worked in the back of a restaurant where it's a busy night, it's slammed, and you're going, where the fuck is this guy? Well, he's supposed to be here. And it turns out the guy's out back smoking weed or smoking crack.
Yeah. Where's my bus boys at? And they're all in the cooler smoking out or something. that like waiting with Ryan Reynolds is exactly how a restaurant.
Oh, I need to see that. That's supposed to be great.
I've worked in plenty of restaurants where I could vouch for that.
Yeah.
Gabe, what about you, man?
Wait 1 second. NFL dude was just kidding. That's a joke about people with failed crowdfunding. So he doesn't really have. Just wanted to clear that up.
We're trying to be cool.
That's right.
Telemarketers.
Oh,
I talked to you about this, right, Lou?
Yeah, the documentary. Yeah.
It's a documentary. I think it's like 5 episodes or something small like that. All about this. I'll do a little quick screen share because I put up some pictures of it just to kind of make it a little easier to get you an idea of what's going on. So it's about a telemarketing call center where all they do all day long is basically scam people out of money by promoting it as being donations to like the fraternity of police in New York or the fraternity of police here or there. It just really starts out, you kind of see the characters here. It's got an upper right-hand corner and these kind of group of people here. It starts out, I've worked in call centers that are maybe 2 steps above this, where all they do is just smoke heroin, do drugs, bang chicks in the bathroom, and scam people out of money. But later on, as they go through, they start realizing that not only is this a scam, but it's a nationwide underbelly scam that is being held up by members of Congress who are involved in taking the money as well. So it's this really deep dive into these telemarketing scams and how they are able to talk people out of their money. There's a lot of characters in this. They're not characters, they're real people. But they talk about how the best telemarketers they get are people who are drug addicts, because there's nobody better than talking money out of someone than a drug addict. And literally, there's this guy that they follow around for a little bit who's shooting heroin in like a back alley, pulls out his flip phone cell phone, sees this guy's work truck with his phone number on it, calls that phone number, and live right there, you watch him talk him out of money like it was simple. Just the most skeevy, easiest way of doing it. But it just, like I said, it turns into a thing where there was members of Congress or somebody within the higher up of government that were backing this stuff up and funding it and getting money out of it as well. So it just turned into like this extreme situation.
This isn't like fiction. This is a real documentary of real telemarketers.
It's a real documentary. This kid here in the middle, he starts and he's like 19 years old. No, I think a little bit younger than that, because they hired anybody. If you could just, they would go to like halfway houses or jails and get people as they're coming out, because they can't get jobs anywhere else. So he actually was in there with the video camera back in the late 90s, just recording the day, recording phone calls, recording them banging chicks in the bathroom, doing drugs, selling pit bulls. You know, it was just the most extreme, wild thing that's going on. And he put these videos up on YouTube. And there's too much to talk about. It goes all over the place. But he puts the videos up on YouTube. Somebody finds these videos and starts like digging into the company and starts digging up all the dirt and all the skeeviness about it. I'm not doing it justice. Like, you really need to check this out if you haven't seen it. It's on HBO. It's on Max right now.
I remember seeing the trailer for it and it looked super interesting, but then I guess I'd forgotten about it because a million other shows came out, you know. But the trailer was wild.
Way more wilder than you thought it was. I watched it because I was like, I worked in a call center before. Let me see what this is like. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I worked in a place like this. Oh, wait, this is getting crazy. Oh, wait, this is getting crazier. Oh, wait, this is getting even crazier. It just escalates and gets wild and wild. Because at first I'm like, I'll watch these guys do a bunch of drugs and scam people out of money. No big deal. But then it really gets like where the money they were taking for these police organizations were actually the police doing this on the side. So it'd be like a random cop or a random detective that was backing up these call centers and taking the money for themselves. It wasn't really going to these police fraternities or like all of our boys who have fallen in the field. This money goes to their families. No, it's all going to the pockets of these other random cops and people higher up in the government. So it's unbelievable how good it was. It was completely unexpected. I went in just thinking one thing, and it just turned into something else that really surprised me and just left a really lasting impression about this.
Wow.
So yeah, got to check out Telemarketers. The Last of Us. Anybody?
Oh, why did I forget about that? That was
Last
so
of
good.
Us? That came out this year, like early 2023, right?
Was it 2023? Hold on.
Yeah. Last of Us.
Yeah, I think it did.
I never played the video game.
It was. Holy crap. Yeah. January 15th.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm adding that to my list.
Yeah,
see that. Well, yeah. The Last of Us. Wow. Yeah. That was an amazing show this year. Talk about taking the source material, translating it well, adding what needed to be added, removing some things that didn't really work. And
just breaking the mold of like video game stuff being stupid.
Oh yeah.
And the Bill and Ted episode was like most beautiful.
I was just about to bring that up. The Bill and the Bill episode.
Oh, Bill and Frank, right?
Bill and Frank, yes.
Yeah.
The Bill and Frank episode, which Bill in the game really doesn't get much to work with as a character. I mean, he's part of like maybe an hour chunk of the game. And Frank, you really don't get almost anything of him other than you find him dead at the end of that portion of the game. They expand that, and you see this beautiful love story between two characters caught in the apocalypse, and you see throughout the years what they go through, and oh my god, one of the best hours of television I've ever seen.
Well, it's Ron Swanson, right? As the prepper, like he was already like one of those apocalyptic prepper kind of guys.
Yeah,
and was kind of ready, and their whole story of how that starts out is something else.
So Last of Us is really interesting because my wife, she has no interest in video games, like at all whatsoever. But I was playing the remake, and she was really hooked on it. She was like, "Wow, this story sounds really cool. It would make an amazing TV series." And I went, funny thing about that, there's a TV series coming out in a few months. So we sat down, and that was our nightly thing until the series ended, where she and I were hooked. and we made it all the way through the season. It's so good. So good, honestly. Yeah. I loved it. I loved it. I don't think they could have done a better job.
I need to see that. I played the first game with my daughter, and we loved it. She was the one that helped me when any sneaking was involved, because she was much better crouching and sneaking through the shadows than I was. I did all the killing, and she did all the sneaking.
They make the infected, Jess, in the show way more terrifying than in the game.
Oh my God, because they were terrifying in the game.
They add stuff to it that is brilliant, and for me, it makes them a lot more intense.
Wow. Okay.
I loved hearing people in my life who would never even consider the video game or ever play a video game, like my parents or managers at work, be like, it reminded me of what was good about event television. You know what I mean? Because like it was like every Monday at work, it'd literally be like around the water cooler, being like, "Did you watch last night's?" Yeah. And like it was just it was great.
Yeah, it brought me back to Game of Thrones nights, where everybody was watching Game of Thrones, and then people the next day were talking about it. That was the same thing at my job, where I work with people that they're not really into like geek culture and stuff like that. But sure enough, every Monday morning they would all come to the office and be like, "Oh my God, that episode of Last of Us was so good."
Yeah. Same with my wife. She never played the game or cared or anything like that. But her and all of her friends at work, they talked about it every week when the episodes were coming out.
No spoilers, obviously, but I can't wait to see the regular people's reactions to all the season 2 twists. Like, is gonna break the internet. I feel like
there's some things in that second game when they go to the second season that a lot of people online are not gonna be happy about.
Yeah. So that'll be fun, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reliving 2020 all over again. I love the second game. I think the second game is brilliant. I think it's one of the best games of all time. I think I'm interested to see how they're going to rework the story for the second game, because it's so much bigger in scale and in scope than the first game.
I think they've mentioned it might be more than one season.
It is. They've confirmed it's more than one
season. There's no way they could fit that all into like 8 episodes.
No, I think there's a logical breaking point where you could split it. I'm not going to get into that here because it would be spoilers, but I think there's a point where it would work as the end of the season. It would leave it on a huge cliffhanger, but it could work. One last thing before we move on. Silo. I love Silo. It's on Apple TV. It's so good. Apple TV is really becoming the home for a lot of the best sci-fi that you're going to find on streaming right now. They've got Severance, For All Mankind, Silo. Just amazing sci-fi. If you're looking for sci-fi shows, Apple TV's your bag right now. They are killing it.
Sci-fi and feel-good TV shows.
Yeah.
Like Shrinking and Ted Lasso. Shrinking is also phenomenal.
Shrinking's on my list. I was going to bring that up. I have Shrinking on my list. I have Pluto on my list, and I have Invincible on my list.
Yeah.
Can you give us an elevator pitch on Silo?
So Silo is a series where it's based off a book series, and basically it's about these people that live underground in these giant in a giant silo, and the whole premise is you start the series out with this person who he's a sheriff, and basically there's so much going on. If you say I want to leave the silo, it is a crime. It is considered a crime. And they'll grant you that you can leave the silo, but upon leaving the silo, you die. And they make it a whole big event when people start leaving the silo. They broadcast it all over the whole tube, and people walk out, and you just see them fall to the ground and they die. You slowly start going through the episodes, and you start revealing these people are being lied to. There's population control. There's the government that's looking after them and stuff like that. When you start peeling the layers of what exactly is going on, it becomes this whole political drama. I love Silo. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And it's only 8 episodes long. Common is in it. I forgot her name. She was in Mission Impossible. She was in Greatest Showman. Oh, I forgot her name. She's a great actress. She's blowing up now. But Silo to me is one of the best sci-fi shows of the year.
Okay, good. You sold me on it. And I need to watch Last of Us too.
I'm surprised you didn't see that already, Jess.
Last of Us?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on what was happening in January. I don't.
Did you
Jess,
see Shrinking?
I don't know.
Shrinking was good.
Jess, I could do you the favor. I think because I have the physical edition of Last of Us. I think it comes with a digital code. I could send you the digital code if I have it after this is done for that season.
Oh, well, thanks. I mean, I have it on HBO Max, right?
Oh yeah, that would be on there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, though. I appreciate that.
Well, who knows how long Warner Brothers will be around, right?
Warner Brothers Paramount.
I feel like
still don't get it.
Ford will probably win. It has to win an award or an Emmy for Shrinking. Like he was phenomenal on that show.
Just the whole part where he's like, I give myself, because he has Parkinson's or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I give myself 15 minutes a day to grieve my death, and then I cry like a bitch for 15 minutes, then I tell myself to stop being a bitch and move on with it. And that's just his way of dealing with it. And then Jason Segel's daughter starts adapting that too, with the death of the thing that she was going through.
I would not picture Harrison Ford for a role like that, to be honest with you. But he is so good in the show, and he's actually trying and acting. Because sometimes you get Harrison Ford who he's like, it's clear as day he's just high as
Star Wars.
Yeah,
I mean, you forget he's a phenomenal actor.
He's a great actor, but it's clear as day sometimes he's just phoning it in and he's high as balls. Which, hey, you're Harrison Ford, you can do that.
Yeah.
And there are times where it's like, oh no, he's really trying here, and that Shrinking is definitely that show.
And that's
talk about a cliffhanger.
I think that's Apple.
It's on Apple.
Apple. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Apple's.
It was. I think it was written by Roy from Brett Goldstein.
He's part of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roy from Siegfried and Roy.
No. Brett Goldstein from Roy from Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Ted Lasso.
He's a writer, and Shrinking is kind of his baby, I think.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on. Vinyl. What do you guys got? You had brought it up briefly.
Yeah, my album of the year. I bought probably 10 albums. Unfortunately, Barbie hasn't come in yet, but I got the one with Ken on the cover. This will appeal to. This is called Pale Blue Eyes Souvenirs. It was released in 2022. I have no idea if Pale Blue Eyes, when they became a group or when. Oh, it came with a nice. Oh, I already. Okay, it looks like this is brand new then. They're only a 3-piece, but they have these chiming anthemic guitars. Very nice, soft guys singing and a bit of a soprano over it, but it's. I would say if you're a fan of, and it doesn't sound like these groups, but it's got the chiming guitar anthemic stuff like the Smiths or some of the guitar on the Lush albums, things like that. It's fun guitar pop. That's I'm assuming it's British, yeah. And so I dug it a lot. I highly recommend it to any fans of chiming guitar-y, fun Brit pop. It's not, well, I don't know if it's Brit pop because I know that was a movement in the 90s, but these are British guys writing charming guitar pop, and it's a lot of fun. I played it today and I got happier. It just made me happier. It was boss.
That's awesome. Did you by any chance grab the new Duran Duran, the vinyl?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Is it good?
I don't know. I've just heard that a lot of collectors are trying to snag it because there's different editions out, I think, of it. And
okay. Yeah, I haven't collected Duran Duran since probably 1986. I respect them as a group, but unless it's really great.
Bait him into the album. Tell him how good it is.
I've not heard it. I don't know anything about it. I would love to. I love Jess buying stuff through me. I get to live my life vicariously through Jess sometimes.
You're as bad as Geo.
No, Geo's the worst. Geo could sell ice to Eskimos.
He's on that telemarketers documentary, but it's him like on the phone with Jets, getting him to buy things.
but he doesn't smoke heroin in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Kid Omnidog, what do you got, man? Vinyl?
So my most played song, not on vinyl, but my most played digital song was I'm Just Kidding. So
yeah.
And I saw before I went on, they just dropped it, the Kin EP. So there's like 5 new variations of that song. As for vinyl, I actually don't have a system myself, but I have tons of systems at work because that's what I do. But I was really excited for the 10th year anniversary edition of Random Access Memory, being that's like my favorite album of all time, and getting to hear some additional songs. And because it breaks my heart, I know we're going to see Daft Punk live just because they never did shows when I was old enough to see them. But they released that, and they released the drumless edition of Random Access Memory. So 2 new variations of my favorite album was awesome. And then lastly, Guts, which was the new Olivia Rodrigo album. I feel like it wasn't as good as her first one, but it was really good.
Okay. Awesome stuff, man. Yeah, this was kind of a light year for me in terms of music. I didn't really pay too much attention to what was going on. The only album that I picked up that I really listened to over and over again was Killer Mike's new album, who he's a rapper, Michael. And this is a very personal project that he's known as one of the 2 guys from Run the Jewels. And he did this album called Michael, and it's very personal, very introspective.
It's a solo album.
Yeah, wonderful thing from beginning to end. I love that album. Honestly, I've played it more times than I can count. It was that and Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll put out his first country album after years of being kind of a hip hop guy and into the rap scene. And he went country, and he actually won, I think, Breakout Artist of the Year at the CMAs this year. And it is a wonderful album. It really is. I did not expect that. It's a gospel album in many ways. Wow. Yeah, it's a country gospel album. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. The way I feel about Christianity follows in a lot of ways, just listening to his interviews and stuff like that, is similar to my own feelings as well. But man, yeah, no, props to him. I love that dude. I hope many more years of health and success to the guy, because it was a really good album.
What did you guys think of the new Beatles song that they dropped this year? I've listened to that a fair amount.
I listened to it 10 times and I was whelmed.
Oh, dude, you got to listen to it 11 times. Yeah, so Peter Jackson used AI to digitally upsample recordings that they thought were unsalvageable. But it's at 11th listen, man. That would really
okay.
I'm just
so it's an actual Beatles song, but they used AI to kind of clean it up.
They used AI to clean up the recordings that they thought were lost.
And Paul and Ringo sat in on it and live recorded with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's cool.
They brought in George and John through old tracks. I'm not unhappy with it, but maybe I haven't listened to it enough. I mean, it's, thank God it's no Maxwell Silver Hammer, but it's I don't know, maybe I need to listen to it more. It certainly cost me enough to buy that freaking little 45.
Does it sound good though on your system? I bet it sounds good.
Oh, it sounds great. Yeah, everything sounds great. I played this so loud today and it sounded so good. Pale blue eyes. I'm going to listen to it again. Oh, yeah. Kane loves Florence and the Machine. Mostly a recent album for digital music. All 3 of Insomniac's Spider-Man video game music. That's a good one.
I forgot she's in that. Yeah.
I don't listen to a lot of music. I did a lot of podcasts. So that was my thing. Podcast real quick. Rob Liefeld. Love his podcast. Joe Rogan, Cartoonist Kayfabe. And some other kind of niche like podcasts is really what I listen to, like when I'm at the gym or long drives and stuff like that. Didn't do a lot of music this year. I think the last album I got, Killer Mike was great. That was the one that I listened to this year for sure. But you already talked about Lou. A couple of years ago, the DMX's last album was amazing. Yeah. But again, I'm not a music guy. Like my gym time, things like that, I listen to podcasts for the most part.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, kind of, because of my job. I mostly listen to podcasts. If I don't have headphones at my job, I need headphones to get me through the work. Oh my god!
Larry turned me on to Wet Leg this year, and they rock. They are two girls from the Isle of Wight, I think. And I think they started playing when they were 16. They've got 3 guys backing them, and they make some of the best music. That is the weirdest name, Wet Leg. But man, they rock hard, and they are catchy as heck. Larry did me a super favor by telling me about them.
Nice.
Music was weird for me this year because I feel like I'm aging out of the genre of music I liked when I was young. And then I do music a lot like differently for work when I'm at like, because I realize that like when you're listening to an expensive system, you see how badly recorded my genres of music were. So it's like, it was weird because I have like the music I'll listen to for work, and yeah, so it was weird for me. I feel like that's one of the first realizing I'm older now is like I don't like my old genres of music.
Oh, brother, wait till you. I think you're probably around my age, right? Maybe a little younger.
I'm 27.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you're a few years younger than me. Wait till you start going into the not the gas station, well, the gas station too, and you start going into Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they start playing the music where you go, "Oh man, I remember that summer," and you just go, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. You start hearing your favorite songs on beer commercials.
Yeah, that was like the first time I heard Led Zeppelin in Safeway. I was like, I'm gonna kill myself now.
It was Walmart for me, where I started hearing Nirvana, and I go,
"Oh god,
oh, god damn it!"
The younger kids start wearing Nirvana shirts; they don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
is that really gonna happen?
This is the best music right here.
You look like you're about to go bet on the ponies in that video.
You get his mint julep.
Yeah.
I was really into like EDM music, but now I hate going out, so I don't go to the festivals anymore. But I can't imagine in 5 years like just some straight dubstep when I walk into a Walmart.
Give it time. Give it time.
Dubstep.
Give it time, man. You're gonna be down. You're gonna be grabbing some rice, and all of a sudden you're.
You're gonna
I hear 90s rap in like Walmart and Target and grocery stores these days, which is unexpected.
That's amazing.
Hear Eminem all the time.
Yes, Larry, you're 100% right. Awesome.
Okay. Kind of keeping the thing moving along. What do you guys want to do next? Do you want to do movies or video games? Those are the 2 categories that I have left.
Games might be quick. I don't know anybody else.
I didn't play a lot of games this year, but I have a couple.
I didn't play any.
Okay, so we'll do games. We'll knock those out pretty quick. For me,
you played a lot, didn't you?
I don't want to talk about it. I have a 1-year-old. I had a lot of time at the house sometimes. We didn't get out much this year, but that's to be expected. So for me, this is arguably one of the best years I think ever in video games, and I think a lot of people would probably echo that sentiment. Right off the bat, we had the Resident Evil 4 remake, Dead Space remake, which is amazing. It's so good, Gabe. You would love it. If you get, I know you were talking about getting a Series X or a Series S, a new Xbox.
An X, not an S. I'm not some chump poor person.
that should be at the top of your list to get with that. And we also ended up getting a new Zelda, a new Mario. Baldur's Gate is incredible. For me, my favorite game this year was Alan Wake 2.
Oh yeah,
I waited
about that.
I've waited 13 years.
I never thought they would do a sequel to that game, dude.
I never thought they would do a sequel to it. It's been 13 years since the first one came out, and it left it on a cliffhanger. And there was never a guarantee we'd get a second game.
Mm-hmm. I remember I was working at PlayStation at the time when that came out.
What is that game?
So good. Oh my god, it's incredible.
I think he would like it because it's horror themed and it's got a good story.
I think you would.
It's similar to like The Last of Us in terms of it being like a single character that you're playing and kind of walking through with the flashlight. There's some creepy kind of crawly stuff. So
yeah, it centers around this writer named Alan Wake, and he's a pulp writer. And in the first game, he ends up going to this town called Bright Falls. At the beginning of the game, he ends up losing his wife in the town, and it's implied that she's dead. So what ends up happening is that he ends up having to go to the other side. And I'm paraphrasing all this, but basically the other side is you find out that Bright Falls is kind of a conduit for this kind of Twin Peaks setting where beings and creatures are coming out from the other side and they're starting to blend the world together.
Ooh.
And you play this character named Alan Wake, who's the writer, and he's trying to figure out how to stop it from this being called Mr. Scratch. The end of the first game ends on a massive cliffhanger, and we were never guaranteed that we would get a second game. A few years ago, a game came out called Control. And
I played Control, so that was great.
Yeah, Control was great. Control was a hidden sequel to Alan Wake. Nobody knew that it was a sequel.
Oh, it was?
A semi-sequel to Alan Wake. Semi-sequel. Because it's set in the same universe as Alan Wake. And as you're playing through the game, you're starting to realize, oh, these things are connected. Alan Wake 2 brings in all that stuff, and including stuff like Max Payne, which is an older game.
Oh, I loved Max Payne.
There's references to it in here.
I played that on the PC back in the day. It was that in Wolfenstein.
Yeah, they bring it all forward into this game, and it's so good. Dude, there are elements of Silent Hill in here. There are elements of Twin Peaks. Yeah. It is one of the most brilliant narratives I've ever played. I loved Alan Wake 2. It's so good.
Can I play it without having played the first two? The sequel and the first one?
Okay, you can. I made this analogy in my Instagram post a few days ago. I made this reference. It would be like jumping into Infinity War without watching the rest of the MCU.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you still buy Alan Wake? Because I thought they lost the rights to the music. Because I remember getting it for like $1 because they were losing the rights to the music or something like that.
They fixed it. You can get it. You can. It's there. There is an updated version that bumps up the textures, the resolutions, and stuff. It's still an old game.
Yeah, there's a remaster on Amazon for Alan Wake.
You can get that, and it's worth your time. Alan Wake is worth your time. But Alan Wake 2 is the culmination of pretty much everything that Remedy has been doing since the Max Payne days. It's really that good. I was hooked on the story from beginning to end. I loved it.
What platform is it?
Xbox. Well, you get on PS5.
Yeah, I think it's on PlayStation also. At least that's right. Wasn't it like a Control one of the games of the month or something for PlayStation?
It was. Yeah.
I have it, and I don't think I bought it.
You can get Alan Wake, Control, and Alan Wake 2 on PlayStation right now.
Oh, okay.
This one I heard was more linear, right? Like it's less free roam, it's more linear.
No, there's so
I would prefer it if it's a little more linear. I just don't have I get lost. Okay.
It's not as linear as the first game. They open it up because they open up. It's basically like they dump you in a map and you have certain areas in the map that you can go, and there's little side stuff that is well worth your time. All the side content is well worth it. It fleshes out the entire universe. This is one of the best games I've ever. I was hooked to the very end. I could not put this down.
Wow.
I feel like you sold me on it because I think my wife, her favorite thing is horror, so she would like watching me play it.
If you enjoy, have you ever seen Twin Peaks?
Me or I watched some of the first season, but yeah, I played Alan Wake 1 and I loved it, and I played like half a Control. I just sometimes I take a break from a video game and then I forget where I left off and never go back to it, you know.
Okay, start all over.
So
I got to the motel in Control and could never get out of the motel or something.
That comes back. The whole motel motif comes back in a much bigger way in the second game. My advice, if you want to just jump into Alan Wake 2, there's a bunch of videos online from Control, from Alan Wake, and all that stuff, kind of dissecting the lore and breaking everything down. Go ahead and watch those. Jump into Alan Wake 2. It's a much bigger game. You play as two characters throughout the whole game. It's so good. It really just is so good. I was impressed from beginning to end.
I didn't know that if you had a pirated copy, you'd be wearing a pirate hat and an eye patch the whole time in the game. That's hilarious. Good job.
That's amazing. So I need to start with Alan Wake and then Control and then Alan Wake 2.
Is Control that necessary, or is it just like it's cool because it's in the same universe?
Control is not necessary, but again, it's it's kind of the equivalent, like I said, it's jumping into Infinity War without having seen Civil War, because it fleshes out so much of that universe, and there are so many terms that they use in Alan Wake 2 that come from Control, and there's a lot of references that come from Control. And just a quick breakdown of what Control is. Control in this universe. It's called the Department of Control, and in this universe, they investigate weird phenomenon that happen across the world. And as you go through the game Control, you end up becoming the head of Control. But it fleshes out all these different weird events that they've experienced in the Alan Wake universe, and you discover that there are these elder gods and like this. There's a lot going on.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on.
Is there bullet time in it, like with Max Payne? God damn, I loved that part of Max Payne.
Oh, that's not in there.
God, it was so great.
I think I didn't think that he just passed away. The guy from Max Payne.
A few days ago. Yeah, a few days ago. The voice actor for Alan Wake, for
Max Payne.
For Max Payne, and a few characters, a character in Control, and a character in Alan Wake 2, he passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he ended up passing away. So his last game was Alan Wake 2. It just won Best Narrative at the Game Awards, I think, Alan Wake 2.
So I kind of have to buy it to honor his memory.
I don't know about that.
I think you do.
Work with me, Gabe. I'm trying
he
to
wasn't
buy
your
this
homeboy
thing.
or something, Jess. Like,
no, work with me. I'm trying to buy this.
So a lot of remakes this year didn't sound like, huh? Like,
there was a lot of remakes.
You mentioned Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space. Resident Evil 4 has been remade like 1,000 times, it feels like.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake was good. This was, again, one of the best years that I've ever seen of video games. There was so much good stuff. Spider-Man came out this year, which was great as well. Man. Yeah, this was a great year. Loved it.
Jake and I are going to play Stardew Valley on Twitch. He seems to think that's a great idea.
I bought an Elgato, and it just loves the vinyl of Stardew Valley, and he's never played the game. And I think that there's like a funny concept there of me and him doing a farm together on a live stream where like he doesn't really know how to play Stardew Valley, and like the chat can be like, go plant this or go chop that down. I feel like that'll be a fun concept.
I need you to you sent me the game like last week, and that was 800 texts ago, so you'll need to find it and drop it in again.
Apparently Alan Wake is only digital. Alan Wake 2?
Yeah, they've only well, they did the same thing with Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate didn't have a physical release until now, where they're coming out with a physical release in a month or two.
I'm okay with it digitally. That's fine.
It's a way of saving cost, and they can keep the game cheaper.
My video game. Okay, so the one that was played the most in my house and I played the most of didn't come out this year, but my wife's favorite video game is Overcooked. If you guys have ever played Overcooked. So literally my wife has her friends over, and like Overcooked is just always playing on my television. So in that game, basically you're in a collaborative kitchen where wacky things happen and you have to cook food together, but it really requires you to yell at each other and be mean. Like my wife's not my wife when we play Overcooked. She's like, she turns into Gordon Ramsay mixed with the bear, and she'll be like, chef, did you put the onions on the pizza? And I'll be like, what? And she's like, yeah, she is not. My wife is not my wife in escape rooms, during puzzles, or on Overcooked. She's a completely different person. So she's like composing, like she's like 6 orders ahead on what she's doing, and I'm just like quietly chopping my onions or something. So maybe we'll play that. That game is her most played. The problem for me is like I'm at that stage now with video games where I'll get super excited about a game like Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate 3, and I'll buy the game, I'll install it, and then I play like 25 minutes of it and go, I should be making YouTube videos or doing school or doing work, or like, I don't know. Video games is the one media. Video games is the one media where I don't know how to turn my brain off, like, and enjoy it. Like I don't know what it is, but by the time I'm sitting down and I start playing, I just think of everything else I could be doing. And that doesn't happen when I'm watching TV or reading comics or watching movies. But video games, I just like can't turn that voice off of my head that says you should be doing something else. And I don't know what that's about.
Okay.
Didn't mean to get too deep on the show, But yeah, video games. I wish I could. I miss them. I loved video games.
Yeah, same. I wish I played them more.
I am that way, but with music. I am not like a Jess where I could just sit down and listen to a vinyl and just kind of tune the world out and just get really into it and listen to all the intricacies and stuff like that. It doesn't hold my attention for whatever reason it is. I listen to music. I love music, but I don't know. I just can't sit down like that to it. I got to be doing something else.
I love
Jess,
putting
do you do
on
a lot
loud.
of comics?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, do you read comics while you listen to music, or do you do a lot of just music, nothing else?
Well, it depends on the music. I put on ambient music to read comics to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then if I'm trying to organize, because in this room, well, in the other room too, but I don't have music in there, except for Alexa. Alexa, play Women in Punk Rock. Let's see if anybody's Alexa goes off.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes.
You didn't really activate her.
I pulled one in.
He really did activate Alexa. My wife is yelling at Alexa right now.
That's hilarious.
So I like to read to ambient, and then there's further curating and organizing that needs to be done in this room where my turntable is. So I'll put on something chaotic like punk rock or really bombastic soundtrack or just music with lyrics like this one. Anything with lyrics, I like to organize books to. And I actually, I mean, I know I take grief and I deserve it for how unorganized my books are, but I'm really trying. So I love to put on music and I love to organize. I'm just trying to get everything right now. I'm trying to get like all my X-Men in one place. So Peter from New Zealand, Peter M, can help me organize it online. We're going to do a video of that, like all my Hulk, all my Spider-Man. I'm trying to get it all in one place, even though it's not organized. At least it's all in one place. So I have fun doing that kind of organization. And that's what I listen to, like loud, crazy music. Or yeah, something like that.
Okay. Cool beans. Okay, last category of the night would be my favorite category, films. So films of the year. This is the only category that was really tough for me because I've seen a lot of shit this year.
You got that last minute call in too.
Yeah, that bumped something out. So I've got my top 5 of the year. Right. So honorable mention for me before we get into it would be Barbie. Loved Barbie. It was on my top 5 until I saw Godzilla -1, and that was the one that got bumped out. That was so good. Barbie was so good. I went into it thinking, all right, whatever. Jess thinks it's so cool. All right, Jess. Yeah, okay.
I take you seriously. Why don't you take me seriously?
I take you seriously.
Because it's Barbie.
I'm pulling you like, no. I went into it thinking, all right, it's a Barbie movie, fine. It's so good. It really is one of the best movies of the year. I absolutely love Barbie. It was such a fun movie from beginning to end. I did not expect it to be as good as it was. So yeah, my top 5. Coming in at number 5 was John Wick 4. Man, this came out at the beginning of the year, and the 4th movie in a John Wick movie, you would think they would run out of gas. Fuck no. This is one of the best ones out of the whole series. Oh, it's so good. And the thing is, it's long. It's I think it's like 2 hours and a half, something crazy like that. And it's 2 hours and a half.
I must say it was like 3 hours.
It's close. I think it might be right. I think it might be 3 hours. And right from the beginning, it grabs you and it does not fucking let up for almost 3 solid hours.
250.
Oh my God. And it's 250 that fly by, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good. If I really hope this is the end of the franchise, even though they're starting to hint now that they want to do another one. I think it ends perfectly. I don't think you need to touch this again. Leave it alone. There are so many
one currently.
I wish they wouldn't. It ends so well.
they could leave it alone and just. I mean, hey, again, like you said, Lou, this is the fourth movie of a franchise that nobody cared about when the first one came out. Everybody thought the first one was going to be a joke. Oh, some guy's dog died. Oh no, now he's going to go crazy. And then it came out, and everybody was like, "This is the greatest movie ever."
Opening night, I was one of probably 5 people in the theater watched that first John Wick movie. Nobody was there. Yeah. And me and my brother walked out, and we were like, "Holy shit, this movie was amazing." And now it's crazy to see it's become this huge pop culture thing 4 movies later. And I think the 4th movie is just that cherry on top. I don't want them to do another one. If they do, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to go see it. But I think this is a good place to end it. Just so many great moments in that movie that
This movie had balls. Like this is a macho balls masculine kind of movie that we haven't seen in a long time. Even like in the beginning, like the very beginning starts off great when he's like punching the board.
Yeah.
And you have Lawrence Fishburne like announcing him in the sewer. But at one where you see the helicopters coming out of the sunrise and is chasing John Wick on a horse. He's like horseback. And there's like these badass helicopters just chasing him. Just from there, you're like, this is what this movie's gonna be about. And
how great is that over the top shot when he's in the building and he's got the shotgun?
Oh yeah, the one that was very much like a Smash TV or the other kind of video game.
Hotline Miami. It was a lot like Hotline Miami. So great.
Like dragon fire shotguns and stuff going. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that movie. Number 4 for me would be the Spider-Verse film. This is number 4 because it's only the first half of a story. It doesn't really have an ending, technically.
Did you know going into it that it was a half of the film, or were you kind of like surprised by the end of it?
I knew going into it that it was half of a film, so I was braced for it.
Not, and I was pissed. So was my movie buddy. We were like, "What?"
Yeah,
it's
weird because it almost ends at the beginning of the 3rd act. It's structured so really weird. The first act is way too long. The second act is even longer, and the 3rd act is almost starting when the movie ends.
Yeah,
when you look at it like that. But I loved it. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a really good movie, but it doesn't have an ending. And I think whenever we get the second half of this movie, that's when I'll be like, okay, yeah, this was an amazing movie. As it stands, it's one half of a fucking amazing movie for me right now.
I hope my wife didn't know it was part 1, and at the end she's like, "What?
Yeah.
That was a big problem. That was a problem with some people.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem with us. It just shocked us.
They should have just called it part 1 or something like that people know. But
they're veering away from that because people that see a part 1 and part 2, it loses some people.
It didn't hurt Twilight or Harry Potter.
You're right.
Or Hobbit.
Natural Bridge, if you go back a little bit in the show, Lou waxed poetic for 10 minutes on Alan Wick 2. Alan Wick on John Wick 2.
My number 3 was so good, and I only saw it a few days ago that it just shot up to my number 3 of the list. Godzilla -1.
That was 3? I can't wait to hear what 1 and 2 are.
Yeah, Godzilla -1 is my third. God damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to repeat what I said the other day. You could go back and watch the Monday show because I talked at length about it. Man, what a movie. Yeah, fantastic.
Perfection.
I'm excited for the black and white version. That sounded really cool.
I know. I'm going to go see it again in black and white. I know.
Just a reason to go see it again.
I know. Number 2, Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Yeah. I loved Oppenheimer. 3 hours. A talking head movie about the creation of the atomic bomb and Oppenheimer and what led to the creation of the atomic bomb and his life. And man, I think it's Christopher Nolan's best film. I loved it. I loved Oppenheimer. I have seen it twice now. I loved it more the second time, and the 4K is gorgeous. I love that film. Robert Downey Jr. is probably he should be in the running for supporting actor. Cillian Murphy should be in the running for actor. Just an incredibly incredible film. And once the final shot of the film started playing, I got chills. I was like, oh wow, that is a way to end this movie, and I got chills. Man, yeah, Oppenheimer was fantastic. My favorite movie this year was one that stuck with me. And you can actually watch this one right now on Shudder for nothing. This is an Argentinian horror film called When Evil Lurks. There were 2 possession films that were out at the same time this year. There was The Exorcist Believer, which was hot ass. Don't go through it. It's a 2-pack of ass. It's terrible.
That's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's a 2-pack of horrible ass. And When Evil Lurks. You can watch it right now on Shudder. It's an Argentinian horror film. It's an hour and a half long. And goddamn. It is. I have not. There probably, no kidding, there probably has not gone a day or 2 or 3 days since I saw it originally that I have not thought about that film. It is. It really is that good. I've seen it 3 times now.
Wow.
And I love every second of it. From beginning to end, it does not let up. It is gory. It is really gory. I'm not. It is extremely gory. And it really pushes the boundaries in a lot of ways. What I don't know if it would be able to be made in America.
That doesn't sound like something I'm going to enjoy.
It's so good though, man.
I'm more of a jump scare person.
Oh, I love it. I love When Evil Lurks. It is my film of the year. Absolutely love it.
Okay. Is this on Shudder?
It's on Shudder. It is not your traditional possession movie though. It's about a virus. And it gives you just enough, and it sets you up in this world that's already pre-established that you can fill in things about what's actually going on without giving too much away.
Oh, Talk to Me. I need to see that, right?
I wanted to like Talk to Me more.
I love
I thought it was really good, but maybe it got a little too overhyped.
Okay, that's fair.
I haven't heard any hype. I just hear the chat and Lou talk about it. So
yeah, Talk to Me is really good.
Okay.
So those are my choices for this year. Yeah, go see When Evil Lurks, guys. If you're into horror and if you don't mind some stuff in there that is really uncomfortable, you'll probably dig this one. It's an hour and a half, and it's 2 brothers, and it's go right from the beginning.
Well, I only left the house 4 times this year, I think. One time I caught COVID, so maybe if James is in the chat, he'll remember the movies that I saw. I think I saw I saw good movies whenever I went out. I saw Across the Universe. Across the Spider-Verse. I saw Barbie. I saw the Marvels, and I saw Godzilla -1. But I feel like I'm forgetting one.
Did you see Ant-Man?
I haven't yet, and I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, yes.
And I know. And now you're giving me all this other stuff that I need to see too.
Just think of all the friends you can make at the movies like last time.
I just met a friend at the gas station where I got my car inspected. He saw my license plate, which is LUVCOMX, Love Comics, and he goes, "Love comics? I love comics." And I go, "I love comics too." And we had like a 20-minute conversation about comics, and I gave him my card, and he's giving his kids Sandman and Watchmen and everything. They're like 12 and 13 years old, so I'm doing okay when I'm exposed to the public. I'm not doing too bad. I'm making friends. So
that's good.
Right?
Gotta get out of the house more, Jess. Get some of that vitamin D. Get some sunlight.
So I'm trying to think what else thanks, Kane. It really was. It was really fun to just like when I saw the Marvels and the guy in front of me popped up and said, "What'd you think of it?" So I loved it. So I mean, I guess I have a top 4 unless I saw another movie. I can't remember. I saw Across the Spider-Verse, which I loved. But I do I did buy the movie so that I could put on closed captioning, because I feel like I missed half the movie. Whenever Miles and Gwen are doing battle and stuff, I missed their quips. They were
They
so
had to re-edit.
quick.
They re-edited the movie. Like they redid the sound mixing. I saw that as a story.
Oh, okay. And then of course Spider-Punk, I didn't have a clue what he said. I'm gonna have to totally turn on closed captioning for that. So I bought the movie so I could turn on closed captioning, and I love the movie, and I think those movies are works of art and just incredible.
Didn't you
Then
also
I
see
saw
Asteroid City this year? Wasn't that one of the movies you saw this year?
yeah, fuck that movie.
How do I know what
Yeah.
movies you've seen more than yourself?
You do. That movie was, I gotta wait till Lou gets back on. I gotta bust on that movie. That movie sucked so
What movie?
much. Asteroid City by Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson? Oh, come on, Jess.
Oh, dude, I love all Wes Anderson movies. I love all of them. This one didn't know what it wanted to be. I think he wanted to be like super meta, super interesting, super spaced out. That movie was a mess. We left thinking, what can we have our hour and a half back or what? That was just awful. I hated that movie. Hated it. So what else did I see, Jake?
I think that was it. I don't remember. I remember you saw Asteroid City and didn't like it. So
I saw Barbie and loved it. I bought that. So my movie buddy and I and my wife all went to see it, and it turned out my daughter and a girlfriend were there too. We didn't know that, and Kelly came down and said, "What are you guys doing?" And so that was fun. I loved Barbie, and it was my movie of the year. I saw The Marvels, and I really dug it. I especially loved that mid-credit scene. It was really good. I 100% enjoyed The Marvels. But then Godzilla -1 came out. I sobbed at the ending. Tears were just pouring out of my eyes. I am not ashamed to admit it. I am a crier. As much as I loved Barbie, and as fun and funny and insightful and well done as it was, without being preachy, it without being in your face, it was just lighthearted fun, where the actors and actresses were just so totally believable and into it and leaning into their roles. Godzilla -1 was a freaking masterpiece. I don't pretend to be a film critic. I never review movies on my channel, because the internet has created 3 billion movie critics on the earth. Everybody thinks they're a movie critic, and they can just go on. Everybody you meet, TV shows, no, I don't know. Video games, I don't know. Movies, oh yeah, I got an opinion on that. And that's just like a dinner with your friends. So I don't pretend to know anything about cinematography, anything. I just know Godzilla -1 moved me to tears. It was more of a human interest story than it was a Godzilla movie. The human interest story just tore me apart and was so beautiful and so brilliant. And God, I'm getting dry mouth. I'm ranting. The way the Japanese in there criticized their own government, the setup that they have to do it themselves because the U.S. and Soviets have issues, and if the Japanese Navy gets involved, it's going to create U.S. and Soviet problems with Japan. So the people have to do it themselves. I don't want to give away much more than that. And of course, it's right at the very end of World War II, and all of Japan is just firebombed, and they're trying to piece their lives back together. And the way that movie goes about getting, it's a triumph of the spirit, man. That guy, there's a guy in there that has lost face, and it has a wonderful, beautiful, brilliant ending that is so philosophical and so deep. Godzilla -1 is my movie of the year. Sorry, Barbie. I loved you, but Godzilla. And apparently Godzilla is a dinosaur, so I love dinosaur. And trust me, Godzilla was an unbelievably scary Godzilla. He was crazy scary.
Yeah, they made him very Jaws-like at the end.
Well, and his all his powers, they were like not of this earth. I mean, that's the scariest Godzilla I've ever seen. And I guess it was made for under 15 million. I would have thought it would have cost 15 million just to make the model of Godzilla.
And it just keeps growing by word of mouth. Like it's spreading.
Yeah.
It's going into more theaters in the US. They're doing like a black and white version of it now. Like,
yeah, I made this joke that I'm like, for $15 million, this looks amazing. And somebody at Marvel is pocketing money, laundering money, or spending it on coke and hookers. Because
it's a cocaine budget on Thor.
Yeah, because it's literally the cocaine budget on Thor, probably for Taika Waititi. And it looks incredible. It really looks just.
And the acting in it, I mean, those actors are so good and so believable. The whole thing's just believable, especially with the central characters. It's just so moving. I can't say enough about that movie.
And usually those things where like you want to go see like Transformers. I don't want to see the people. Like I'm there for Transformers. But this is that one movie where it's like, I'm okay with Godzilla not being in it all the time because the characters are so well done and so interesting and so fleshed out, and the story made sense, and they brought everything together, and they had like the really fantastic idea of how to try and kill Godzilla and all of that. Like I went into that movie just because I heard it was good. I was like, oh, let's go see it. I had no idea it was a World War II period piece, no idea about anything going on in it, and I just walked out like wiping tears off my face and enjoying the hell out of that movie for sure.
So good. So
fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
Larry says that the Wet Leg should cover the Blue Oyster Cult Godzilla song. That would be perfect.
So what you're saying, Jess, is you're no longer Kenough. It's okay.
No longer Kenough. We are hearing the Wonka film is brilliant. That's what we're hearing, Terry. I don't think any of us have seen it yet, but we've heard from a lot of people that it's really, really good.
Yeah,
wasn't even really interested in it.
Have you?
I don't know how many Wonka movies I can watch.
Wait, have you seen Paddington 2?
Isn't that the highest rated movie of all time?
And
it goddamn is for a reason.
It is. It's the best movie ever. I could watch that movie any day of the week.
It was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes until some jackass 4 years after the movie came out or something like that decided I'm going to give it a negative review, and he got firebombed by the entirety of the internet for like a week.
This is like the most hardcore fanboy haters couldn't even hate Paddington 2. It was so great. They went into it hating it, and they came out loving it. It was so great.
You can.
I want the Paddington director on a live action Bluey.
Oh my god! I'm there day one with bells on.
So this, the point is, Wonka's made by the same people that made Paddington 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
My movie of the year was Barbie. If you would have told me years ago that I would have liked a Barbie film more than I would have liked the new Christopher Nolan film, I wouldn't have believed you. I kind of wish I had saw Oppenheimer first, because like when I was watching Oppenheimer, it was so good, but the only thought in my head was I could have watched Barbie twice. You know? Like but no, Oppenheimer was phenomenal. The Boy and the Heron was amazing. I do think that if you really want to get the most out of it, the best way to do it is see it, then spend 30 minutes reading about the symbolism, and then see it a second time. Because like there was like the whole thing is like an autobiography told through allegory about things I didn't know about. You know, I didn't understand some of the symbolism. It's some of it gets lost in translation. Some of it's lost because I didn't know, all about his life. But it is a gorgeous film. It's so subtle. I feel like you forget when you watch a Studio Ghibli film how little hand holding they do and how subtle things are. When you watch like an American movie, it like hits you over the head with like this is what we're saying. This is what it's symbolism for. Like literally, an American movie, they put like the text of what location someone's at. It's like this is America. This is space, and it's like they don't. Studio Ghibli film just lets you figure it out on your own, and Yeah, in
American movies, if they turn on the AC, they have to have like little like on the vent to know that it got turned on.
Yeah,
or a fan.
This movie was awesome. I took some friends to go see it, and I didn't realize they said they liked anime. I didn't realize they'd never seen a Studio Ghibli film before, and I definitely don't think The Boy and the Heron should be your first Studio Ghibli film because there's a lot of motifs and symbolism to previous films in it, and I think all of that was lost for them. Like my wife was like, they're never gonna trust your movie recommendations again, And, I mean, I'm like I have a Studio Ghibli tattoo, so I'm like a massive I was hugely looking forward to this film.
What do you think the best Studio Ghibli movie is for a first timer? Like,
I think if they're younger, My Neighbor Totoro is a really good film.
Yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service.
Kiki's Delivery Service is so good. I feel like Mononoke and Spirited Away you might want to watch a little bit later, but Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service are great beginner films. Howl's maybe a little bit later down the road. Not that I'm trying to Ghibli films, but this one was definitely the most subtle and the most hidden in its like allegorical symbolism and stuff. But like after you spend like 30 minutes reading it and you go back to it, you're like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like it grew.
Can I read about it first and then go see it?
I think actually, yes, that's not a bad way to go about it. Just because like originally the movie was supposed to be one thing, and then what it was supposed to be about, that person died. So he changed what the story was going to be about halfway through production. And it's a lot of symbolism to like his life as a child, a lot of about like him, like not like, I don't want to give too much of it away, but like a lot, I think it would not hurt to read a little bit before you go see it. You'll just get a deeper understanding of it.
Is it, because I've seen some clips of him, is it kind of, he's old at this point, but is it kind of him coming to grips with his life? Is that kind of what we're getting at without giving anything away?
Originally, I think it was supposed to be about the mentor he had at Studio Ghibli, but then that mentor died in real life, and it became, I think, about he was kind of like about how his life, about what he gave to be the head of this artistic creative studio and what it cost him to create all that beauty, and kind of like there's a lot of like coming to terms with like a lot of befriending grief, like learning how to sit and understand and get through your grief. That's a huge part of it. He talks a lot about like how he kind of wrote it as like a lesson to his grandson. So it's just a deeply personal film. And like for instance, one thing is like in their culture, the heron symbolizes grief. And that's like a huge theme of the movie. But if you don't know that, you don't understand that deeper layer of it, So it's
Did you watch
great film.
Apologies. Did you watch this subbed or dubbed? Because the dub cast is insane.
So I didn't buy the tickets, but we did watch it subbed, and Robert Pattinson is my favorite actor. William Dafoe's in it, like Christian Bale's in it. Like I think I want it now. I told my wife I want to go back and watch it dubbed, but the Boy and the Heron I watched it subbed, and I don't know. Again, I don't know what was lost in translation, but I walked out of that movie unsure about how I felt, and then it grew and grew and grew on me, and it's like. That's why, like, I want to go see Godzilla, but I'd rather go see The Boy and the Heron dubbed, like, again, now that I have the context that I was missing.
Awesome.
It was an awesome film. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was fantastic. Just the ending, it was such a celebration of, like, of all their movies.
Don't spoil it.
That was it. It was just a good movie.
Okay.
Galactus shows up in it.
Yeah, it really is the thing where Marvel must be like, God, I can't believe we just lost this guy.
Oh, we lost James Gunn because we canceled him for some inappropriate tweets like 20 years ago.
Oh God, that must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Because Guardians 3 is really good, Jess. You'll like it. It's very good.
You like the music, Jess?
Just some real quick. I'm gonna fire off some things real quick that should have gotten more recognition. This was a weird year.
Wait, can I get my list?
Oh, I didn't know. My fault. I apologize. Go for it. I'm sorry.
I'll go through it real quick because most of it we've already talked about before. I'm going to go from 1 to 5. John Wick 4, most badass movie I saw this year. You know, they foot on the gas and they never let up. Godzilla -1, Oppenheimer. We didn't talk about this movie, and I'm surprised. Super Mario.
Mario was
Super
good.
Mario's in my top 5.
I hadn't seen it. I didn't see
Oh
it.
man, it's fantastic! It's so much fun. I walked out of that feeling like a kid again.
It was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, March, I think, something.
Yeah.
And Across the Spider-Verse. So lots of stuff we already talked about already, but surprised you didn't talk about Super Mario already. But man, again, that was just one of those movies where I was like, oh, there's gonna be some video game franchise. I'm gonna go see it just because it's Mario. Let's go check it out. And was just blown away the entire time. Fantastic. Fuck that Peaches song. I got sick of that. Like 5 minutes of it being on repeat over and over across the universe. But yeah, that's my top 5. John Wick 4, Godzilla, Oppenheimer, Super Mario, and Across the Spider-Verse.
I gotta see Oppenheimer. It's been re-released into theaters. I gotta go see it.
Just wanted to highlight a few things that I told Gabe this. This was a year where there was a lot of good, not amazing, but really good and solid stuff that came out that really should have gotten more recognition and more love than it did. I'm just gonna fire off a few things, and feel free to interrupt me. Saw X, best one in the franchise for me. Absolutely loved it. I don't know if anybody else here saw it, but I loved it. As a longtime Saw fan, this is the best one. Blue Beetle.
Yes.
I need to see that.
Blue Beetle should have gotten more.
I forgot about that. Blue Beetle was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a top 5. I don't know about top 10 either, but just way better than you expected it to be. Yeah. Way better than people were trying to make it seem to be. God, that was such a good movie all the way through.
Yep.
All the way through.
NFL dude said Elemental. That was a good one. Didn't you guys see Elemental this year?
I did. Yeah, we watch Elemental a lot in this house. We put it on for my kid all the time. It's really good. Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I heard that was awesome.
This year also. I watched that movie like 5 times this year. It was so good.
Dungeons and Dragons should have gotten so much more love in the theater. It was awesome. I love that movie. It's so much fun from beginning to end. I really
want to see that.
I stan Jonathan. Jonathan was my favorite character.
Oh, dude, the whole cast is great. Every single person is cast perfectly. Chris Pine is hilarious. You've got the wizard who doesn't really have any confidence in him.
I won't spoil the cameo, but her ex-husband, the Hobbit, was such a delight.
That caught me so off guard.
I won't say because you got to go in blind for that one.
Yeah, you actually got that actor to do such a bit part, and it's hilarious.
It made it so much fun.
Oh my God, it's great. When that actor pops up, I go, "Is that is what the fuck?" No, Jess, you'll love Dungeons and Dragons.
I definitely want to see it.
It's so much fun. I'm telling you, you'll laugh throughout the whole thing. It's a great film. It should have gotten more love.
The trailer cracked me up.
I think the trailer didn't do it justice, and that's why. Like, they made it like seem like a kind of run-of-the-mill adventure film, but it was just so unbelievably funny.
I don't think I even saw any marketing for it or anything. Like, I didn't even know it even came out.
It's from the creators of Game Night, right? Which was another film that I feel like didn't do as good as it should have done in theaters.
Yep, Game Night was really good. We got The Killer on Netflix.
Great.
From David Fincher. That was really good. Really, really good. Just kind of going through a few things here. There was a new Indiana Jones that I still need to watch. I've heard it's pretty good. I didn't
hear anything good about it.
I've heard. There's Pope's Exorcist, which is on. It's on one of the streaming apps. It's Fat Russell Crowe, on a Vespa, traveling across Italy and across the Vatican, hunting down demons and doing exorcisms and stuff like that. It's fun, honestly. It's good.
You did enjoy it?
I did. No, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It's really fun seeing Fat Russell Crowe, who's huge on a tiny little Vespa, driving around the Vatican, and like his little hat and everything like that, going to perform exorcisms.
I saw a news article that said like how long in that movie, like he like leaves on his Vespa to go to wherever he goes for the haunting, and it would have been like a 6-week ride on his Vespa, but it's just like one scene of him driving to the new place. Like he drove his Vespa like across European countries.
It's a fun movie. You put it on, you grab some popcorn, and you're not gonna lose any brain cells.
Okay.
But it's not winning any awards. I'm looking for. I think they said they're gonna do another one, so I'm looking forward to it. I thought it was good. Just kind of going through some stuff here. The new Scream movie was really good. I really enjoyed that. I think that's kind of
Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I think was really good.
That was good. That was solid.
Anybody watch the Beanie Bubble about the Beanie Babies?
Oh, was that a documentary?
It's a movie. It's not a documentary, but it's a documentary about it, but it's not like a film documentary.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see that. I really would.
We also got a new Martin Scorsese film with DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. That was great.
I haven't seen that one yet, but
I haven't seen that. Yeah, I'm waiting for my wife to finish
pulling the trigger on it.
It's 3.5 hours long.
It'll come to Apple eventually, right? I think that's the thing that's holding me off from buying it. It was an Apple film, right?
It's an Apple film. You can rent it right now from Apple for $20.
Yeah.
It's still in theater.
Yeah, it's like you can rent it. I think you can buy it for like 30, rent it for 24 or $20 or something like that. And I just feel like I want to wait till it's just on Apple, but it's gonna be worth it. I bet it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, so that was really good. I really love Killers of the Flower Moon. It was a really good movie, man. It justifies its length. Anybody see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I have the 4K. I still haven't seen it. Good?
It's cool. It's cool. You'll enjoy it. I mean, it's not Shakespeare or anything, but it's fun.
No, I'm not expecting that.
I mean, it's not the first Ninja Turtle movie, and it's not TMNT, but it's still really fun.
I think that's all I got, guys. I think that kind of concludes the wrap up. If anybody's got any questions or anything.
Well, while we're waiting for our questions, let's talk about our fabulous sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions from 30% off up to, in the red tag sale, there's some really good books for sale now at 60% off. Don't forget to add in your 2% loyalty discount. At the end of every month, we give away a free gift card on a Monday worth $50 of credit at InStockTrades.com, courtesy of InStockTrades.com. We give it away to somebody out there like you. $50 or more on $50 or more on an order gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Somebody's messaging me on YouTube about Bouncing Boy. What nerd is talking about Bouncing Boy to me?
Can we play the Omar 66 animation video again? I've been waiting all show for something.
Sorry, I'm new to this, so yeah, just a sec.
That's
See, like we just asked for it. He's like, hey, you know how to do like some video editing and stuff. Can you make him spin and grow? And I was like, he didn't explain what we were trying to make or like what we were trying to create. And then finally he was like, you've seen Batman 66, right? And I'm like, okay, let me figure it out. I got it. So I'm happy with how it came out.
Jake is the one that made this. That's all. And we've already gotten threats of legal action from.
Yeah, we're totally getting sued.
You saw him take down that TikToker that used his hand, so he's coming after you guys next.
Right. Is that true? Did he really take down that video? Wow. Okay.
The person, I love that response of, hey, you're a huge YouTuber. I didn't think you'd ever respond if I asked permission. Like, what a jerk.
No, that's stealing his content.
He totally was. It's just so funny that people recognized his hands.
That's a little weird.
That they recognize his hands?
That they recognize his hands, right? That's a little awkward. I feel like James Abel would be able to do that. Oh yeah, that's just his hands.
I'm a hand model actually. So
okay, that's gonna be a new game that you guys play. Just get a photo of like 4 different pairs of hands, and one of them is guesses, and people have to guess if it's his hand or not.
I feel like the most dainty ones would be Riley. I think he takes care of his hands really well.
Yeah, those are the ones that have never chopped wood.
I'm laughing like I've ever chopped wood in my life.
Oh God, I used to all the time.
I've done it
as a young man.
It's not fun.
Not in this shape.
Yeah. My Saturdays were spent usually with my father as a kid. Get your ass up. We got to do lawn work. And we would do lawn work for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yep.
It was no
In
fun.
there.
Oh my gosh, Atit, no. No. Don't buy Downriver People. Not even if they paid you $30 should you get Downriver People.
What is Downriver People? And
it was a disaster.
Does it have Burt Reynolds in it? Because if it has Burt Reynolds, alligator, then I'm in.
No, if
I
recall
Swamp
correctly,
People?
it was back in like 2021, and the Minister of Comics said, "Hey, I'm reading the story Downriver People, and it's pretty good. I'm just starting." And so I told Kristen, and so all three of us started reading it on Hoopla. And halfway through the book, it takes this left turn into Crazyville that makes no sense at all.
Sold.
And we were all we all finished it at the same point, and so we did a 3-way video where we were like, "What the hell did we just read? This was the worst thing ever." It was a great beginning that just turned hard left into nonsense, and we were so unhappy with it. We were like, "Oh, this is the worst book of the year." So that gives me a reminder for why did I read it? Downriver People. Oh my gosh, don't buy that. Anybody. God bless IST, but don't buy that from them.
If you are going to buy it from them.
That's true. Equalizer 3. I want to see those first 2 Equalizers. I dig Denzel.
How many copies of Downriver People would you have to buy to get free shipping on in-stock trades?
I don't know. It's in the red tag sale, so you'd have to probably 10.
So you could share the love and give 10 friends or 10 enemies copies of Downriver People.
There you go. I like where he's thinking.
It's $6 on IST right now.
So that's
okay.
50. Wow. Yeah, 10 copies.
Thank you, Bob. Hey, you guys are all wonderful. I always look forward to hanging out with you all. Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Buy 10 copies and donate it to the local children's shelter.
Oh, God.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
How not to turn people into comics readers. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
You can give them out instead of your business card next time. Every time some guy goes, "Your license plate says I love comics. I love comics." Here's Downriver People.
He just cracks open the trunk. There's a whole bunch of them.
Oh no, it's like a trench coat, and he's got pockets, and the first one's free.
Like the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Oh God. IST's just like, who the fuck bought 10 copies of Downriver People?
They're going to be like, why did this giant spike of sales for Downriver People happen during the Omnibros show?
This is the Downriver People train. This is the hype train for it.
We got to use our power for good.
I'm changing my name to petitioning to an absolute Downriver People. I want a slipcase edition. Give me a library edition.
It was not good.
Is it better or worse than Trent? Oh, you weren't on
Trent? I wasn't on that show.
Oh, you missed that.
Either. So I don't know. I mean, compared to what was the Abrams kids book, Spiderline, or what was it called? Bloodline.
Bloodline, yeah.
That book sucked from beginning to end, whereas Downriver People had a good first half before it got crappy. So I feel like it's still the Golden Abrams and not the Golden Downriver People.
Just that bar has yet to be any lower for any book I think we've read on this show.
I feel like I should just order a copy of Downriver People to Jess's house as a Christmas gift, like at this point.
Well, you've only got 5 days till Christmas, so you better hurry up, dude.
Every year when we do the Omnis, I think maybe this year we'll get a worse book than Spider-Man Bloodline. And we have yet to have gotten a worse book than Spider-Man Bloodline to change that name.
I only read one bad book this year, and it was with Kristen, and I'm sure it's still her worst book. She gave it 1 star because she couldn't give it no stars.
Yeah.
And I gave it 1 star, and I will be pulling it out next week for the Omnis.
Is it as worse as Spider-Man Bloodline?
Oh.
Probably not, because Spider-Man Bloodline was so hyped that it's like, this is going to be the greatest thing. It's J.J. Abrams' son who's going to do it, and everybody should buy it. And it sucked.
Didn't it have like Sarah Pacelli art too?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
It had a lot going for it.
Yeah. It had a good artist going for it.
Poor Sarah.
All right, guys,
Pacelli.
I'm out of here. It's 7:00. Have a good night.
Okay, dude. Thanks.
No, NFL, dude. Amazing Spider-Man 26 is not worse than Bloodline. Bloodline is 4 issues. That is 1 issue.
Is that the one where they lose Kamala Khan?
Yeah.
I forget. We're gonna at some point we need the categories uploaded in the chat so I can start putting them together.
Gio, talk to Gio's got the categories.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be able to hook you up with that. So yeah, next week we'll have our Omnis. We're gonna have the traditional categories as always. I think I'm gonna kind of take a little bit of a step back this year. It's been a light year reading wise. I'm gonna host if you don't mind. I'll just have the categories. I'll throw in a few things here and there, but it's been a crazy year for me. I've been trying to keep a child alive for a solid year along with my wife. We did it, guys. We made it through our first year. Only the rest of our life left to go, sweetheart.
That's a funny way to put it.
Oh my God, I'm so tired, Jess. She's just starting to walk, Jess. I'm so tired.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then they start putting everything in their mouth and climbing on stuff. Yeah.
Oh God.
It is stressful.
I think that's why I have cats. It's a little easier.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're constantly chasing them around.
It really is. You have this thing and you're just trying to keep it alive, and it tries to constantly hurt itself.
That's exactly right.
Oh my God.
Kane says, are you guys going to stream anymore this week? Or not? If not, have an amazing holiday celebration. Thank you, Kane. Same to you.
Buddy. The manga guys are on tomorrow night, right?
With manga guys are on tomorrow night. With I
think Colleen's on with them.
Yeah, I think Colleen's on with them too. That's tomorrow night. So Jake, our guest, where I put your link in the description. Where can people find you?
Oh, guys, this was an honor to be here. I've watched your guys' show for a really long time, and it's fun to finally get to talk to you, the rest of you. I am one half of the Brave and the Boys show on YouTube. We do live streams. I pump out lots of shorts, and we do long form content. So we're on TikTok as the Brave and the Boy. We're on Instagram, all the socials. And it's just, I like reading comics. I like talking about comics.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We would love to have you. I think I speak for us for next week for the Omnis, if you're free.
Oh, I passed the interview. Oh my gosh, I'm invited back.
I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, right, Jess?
No, sure.
Yeah. We would love to have you for next week to kind of balance things out.
Heck yeah.
So if you want to be on next week for the Omnis, we would love to have you, man.
I will love to be there. What day is it?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Nice. So, okay, I used to watch your guys' show because I used to work till 5:30. So I would start watching your guys' show at my desk and then I would switch to my phone, and then I would just listen to it on my drive home. But I just recently got promoted, and now I work remote, so I can actually join the streams at the right time now.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh God, I would love to work from home. How is that? That must be. Is it better? Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of in-person friends. I have a lot of online YouTube comic book friends.
Same.
And I didn't realize
Welcome to the Omnibros.
Yeah, I didn't realize that as much as I hated going to the office, it was nice to get out of there a little bit. So I'm in complete control of my schedule. I think what I'll do is 2 days in the office or 1 day in the office a week, and the rest of the days remote, because it's kind of hard to leave the house sometimes. I joined the Panera Bread subscription service because I need a reason to get out of the house. And my wife was like, hey, you can't, like, if you want to spend your money on books, you can't buy a latte every single day, you know? So just as a reason to get out of the house, I'm like, guess I'll get my free beverage at Panera Bread. And no, it's awesome. I read comics. Thank you. I do social media now and e-commerce stuff. So
that's awesome, brother.
Yeah. I actually learned a lot doing my YouTube channel, and I can transition some of that stuff to my work. But I also did like 45 minutes of reading Superman Birthright today while listening to the Man of Steel soundtrack. So it was fantastic.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Thank you, AS. Peace and love to you too.
Fantastic.
It is easier to read comics when you're working remote.
All right, guys. I think that's it for our wrap up for Best of Media.
Yeah, it sure is. You can find me on OmniDogs Vault on YouTube, OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram. I'll show this real quick. My buddy Tony from Sweden sent me as a Christmas gift this limited edition Madman print signed by Laura and Mike Allred for Christmas.
Aww.
22 out of 99. I will be showing this. I already showed it on Instagram, but I'm going to show it on every show for the next 2 weeks because it's so great. Okay, so peace and love. Thank you to everybody that's watching, and we genuinely appreciate you and hope that you guys all have a great holiday, a great Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Have a great time. Think of us as you're opening your presents, hoping they're books.
No show next Monday, right? There's not going to be a show next Monday, Christmas night?
Correct. We're going to do a show Tuesday. We do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you for saying that. So thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe. Peace and love. Don't drive drunk.